Hi artists, welcome to Mrs. Gelaro's Art Room. I'm excited about today's lesson because it was inspired by a really cool artist named Romero Britto. Romero Britto is still alive and working. He's not an ancient artist, and he's what's called a pop artist. Pop stands for popular, and what that means is he uses everyday objects as his inspiration, not anything fancy. He does pictures of things that we see in our everyday life. He creates art around those. He is a founder of something called the Happy Art Movement. And when I show you some samples of his art, I think you'll see why. Romero Britto was born in Brazil, and his family did not have access to a lot of nice art supplies. So he started making his art on pieces of newspaper or old pieces of cardboard that he had around the house. And as he practiced on those supplies, he became a really awesome artist. Now he lives in Miami, in Florida, in the United States. And he's well known for creating fun patterns in his art, and his art is happy. It's optimistic. It makes you feel good when you see it. He's also really big on public art. Public art is the type of art that you see in a park or an airport or places like that where people are just going about their business, not just in art museums. And he was the official artist of the 2010 World Cup. He's a really cool guy. So when I first started reading about Romero Britto, I remembered seeing a piece of his art. And this was a huge sculpture that I just made a picture of that's at the airport in New York City, at John F. Kennedy Airport. There's this giant sculpture of an apple, because you know how New York is called the Big Apple, and it's lit up and it's made of something very shiny, and it's really beautiful. So I tried to draw a picture of that to remind myself. Now what we're going to be doing today is a cat inspired by Romero Britto's art. Wow, I'm having a hard time picking that up. There we go. So we're making a cat. Once you learn his style of art and you kind of get how it works, you can make anything. As you can see, he uses really simple shapes and divides them up, then adds pattern, and then adds color. So he starts with the line and the shape, then pattern, then color, and those are some of the elements of art. So go ahead and grab your paper. And if you have something with a straight edge, like a ruler, it's a good idea to put your ruler alongside the edge so you're creating a margin that you're not going to put your art in. And on the side of my margin, I'm going to write the artist's name, Romero Britto, because that's who inspired this. To start out with, we're going to divide our paper into fourths. And a little trick I like to do so I don't have to erase so much is, instead of drawing lines to separate this into quadrants, I'm going to use my eraser. Now, if you do this, make sure you have an eraser that doesn't make a mark. Now I have the lines, but when I don't want them anymore, I can just brush them aside. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw the cat's head. So you can see the shape of the cat's head. And the cat's head is going to be over here in this section. So start in this section right here, and you're going to draw straight lines going about right here. And then it comes, I'm going to draw a little point there and then attach my straight lines so they go like that. Then I'm going to draw a line here and here. And remember, if I'm going too fast for you ever, you can always just pause the video. Then I'm going to go ahead and in this fourth of my paper right here, I'm going to make the legs and the paws, and a second one right here. Now, the back starts about right here, and then it goes all the way over here to that section there. And then I'm going to draw a line right here. And then I am going to add a tail. Now, I don't feel like I really need these lines so much anymore, just maybe for one more thing. Right here on the corner of the cat's head, I'm going to make some curved lines. And you can make however many you want. It depends on how many sections you want to fill with pattern and color. Then the eyes go at the bottom part of the cat's face. And to me, when you start making these eyes, they kind of look like fish. And if my eyes aren't exactly the same size or shape, I'm really okay with it. It's called the happy art movement. So we need to be having fun. And then a spot right here. And I kind of like the way that the eyes are not exactly the same shape on this one. On this one, I made my eyes a little bit closer. Now comes the fun part. So we're going, oh, I forgot one thing. Along those lines that you made, your eraser lines, go ahead and draw pencil lines. And then take your hand and get rid of the eraser lines, and you don't really have to erase anything, except I made a little mark here on the cat's chin. Okay, so for the next part, and you can see in Romero Britto's artwork, he has really bold lines. So we're going to go ahead with a thick black marker, or if you don't have a marker, crayon, whatever you have. Remember, he created his art on old newspapers. So we can make do with whatever we have around the house. While you're going over your pencil lines, you can be thinking of what kind of patterns you want. And remember, you're the artist, so you get to choose. That is called artist's choice. What kind of patterns you want, what kind of colors you want. But something to keep in mind is, if you want your cat to really pop off the page, you might consider, I think I want one more section here. You might consider having the cat be all warm colors or all cool colors. And if your cat is warm colors, then the background could be cool colors. If your cat is cool colors, the opposite, because warm colors contrast with cool colors, and then it will create a situation where your cat really shows up on the page. Once you've outlined your cat, you're going to go over those lines you made to divide your background into 4 different sections. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is think about what kind of patterns you want. You can see that I put different patterns in some of the sections, but not every single section. And I tried to make my patterns different from each other. Then I took a crayon and I just colored in different colors. I kind of tried to make warm colors in here, but I forgotten I put green, so I put a little yellow on top of it so it would still pop against the cool colors in the background. Okay, boys and girls, when you're all finished, go ahead and put your Romero Britto artwork in your art portfolio. And you might want to even get a few more pieces of paper and make some other Romero Britto inspired artwork to put in your portfolio. I think a fish would be fun, a butterfly. They need to be things just from everyday life. Nothing super special, just something that you see around in your life. Have fun, enjoy, and I can't wait to see what you make.